me in response to a PQ that the option of deploying a group of Army Rangers to Mali was being considered, that it would take some time before you could make a conclusion on it. The Army Ranger unit obviously is not trained and organised for peacekeeping. The idea of sending them to Mali is mad as far as I'm concerned, but we hear a lot from you about international crisis management and peace support and so on, which I think is doublespeak. Has a decision been made on this, and when is it likely?
Minister.
The Army Ranger Wing, the ARW, are the Special Operations Force of the Defence Forces, part of the capabilities available to the state to be deployed in support of our national security and overseas peace support operations. MINUSMA, the UN mission in Mali, is authorised under the Chapter 6 of the UN Charter of the UN Security Council. It is a significant UN peace enforcement mission comprising both regular and special operations forces and high-end capabilities. Ireland currently has 20 Defence Forces personnel deployed to the EU training mission in Mali. Potential overseas missions are considered by the Department and the Defence Forces on an ongoing basis, having regard to available resources and international peacekeeping requirements. The question of deploying Defence Forces personnel to support the UN mission in Mali, MINUSMA, has been under consideration for some time, as the Deputy has said. Recently, the option to deploy a small contingent of Army Ranger Wing personnel to MINUSMA as part of a larger special operations force within the mission arose and is currently under active consideration. The Department and the Defence Forces are in the early information gathering stages in considering this particular mission. This involves getting detailed information on the mission and its operations, consideration of the possible role of the Defence Forces may be able to undertake in the mission, how such a deployment fits with the Defence Forces capabilities, having regard to existing and potential commitments at home and overseas, and a detailed threat analysis and assessment of the area. And this process is ongoing at the moment. On foot of the respective military and policy advice arising from this process, I will then consider the matter, and I wish to emphasise to the Deputy that no decision has been made to participate in this mission as of now.
Deputy.
Well, firstly, Minister, my very clear understanding is that this mission operates under UN Charter Article 7, and that's an entirely different type of operation. Yeah, exactly. Pretty big mistake, because that is to maintain peace through force. It's qualitatively different than other missions that Irish peacekeepers have participated in, such as UNIFIL and UNDOF, which operate under Article 6. The Irish Army Rangers is an elite special forces unit that's not trained for peacekeeping. So you add the two together, and you know this is a significant departure from what we normally do. Now, the response you've given me is identical to the one you've given me in January, and it's now April. So we're none the wiser on this. But I want to put on the record the idea of a small neutral state like Ireland being involved and having its Army Rangers involved in this is absolutely abhorrent, and it really does smack of being a sort of effort to curry favour with the French and possibly the government in Mali in a bid to get on the UN Security Council. I think it's incredibly dangerous, and we should have nothing to do with it.
Thank you, Minister.
Let me say, Deputy, my apologies. It is 7 rather than 6. My apologies for that. I wasn't trying to trick you in any way. Let me state, Deputy, that yes, it is a very similar reply to I gave you in January, because we haven't made a decision as of yet. We are information gathering at the moment. I'm not sure if I stated to you on my visit to Mali in January that I met the head of mission of MINUSMA and on my most recent visit, and I received a full brief from the head of mission from that stage, because I want to be able to make sure and satisfy myself that what this mission is about, what is involved in this mission, have we got the capacity and capabilities to participate in this mission if we do make a decision to do so. But as I've stated, Deputy, we have not decided as of yet to participate in this mission. And I'd be telling you a lie if I didn't be up front to say, yes, it's a mission that we are considering at this moment in time.
Thank you. Final comment, Deputy.
See, I suppose what's happening in Mali and other French colonies is that France is supporting a series of compliant but deeply undemocratic regimes in Africa, and and has basically meant that these are in a consistent state of exploitation for the benefit of France. Now, the idea that anybody in our defence forces should be part of that is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, we're peacekeepers. We're not mercenaries for hire by former colonies, which seems to be what the Minister thinks. And as you've said from your visit, it's an incredibly dangerous place at the moment, and we have to think of the safety of our personnel as well. Mali is a complex situation, and obviously, as I said, France has its objectives in the middle of it. Why on earth would we be sending Army Rangers into the middle of that? And why would we be participating in an Article 7 motion? We are peacekeepers, Minister, and if we keep going down this line in some vain attempt to sort of give ye international prestige that we don't have, not only are we jeopardising the safety of our own Defence Forces personnel, but we're actually undermining our international credibility as peacekeepers.
First of all, Deputy, no decision has been made in this, let me say, to deploy the ARW to Melissa, and any such decisions are based on assessment of the requirements of the mission, and I have stated previously the capacity and capability of the Defence Forces to contribute to that mission. The possible deployment of the Defence Forces personnel has been under consideration for some time and is unconnected to the SECO campaign. And let me state that this is totally separate from us trying to get a seat on the UN Security Council. And consideration is being given to the deployment of a small contingent of Army Ranger Wing personnel to the mission, and it must be stressed, however, that these considerations are at a very early stage and will require further detailed analysis and planning. But my primary concern, before we do make a final decision on this, is the safety of our personnel are paramount to me, the Department, and military management. But I will take the advice from military management if we are to participate in this mission. The last time that the Army Ranger Wing were deployed on an overseas mission was in Chad back in the early '00s, and I think that they are a very well trained capability within the Defence Forces that have the capacity of participating in such a mission. But let me say, Deputy, no decision has been taken on this, and I will, of course, keep the House informed and updated if we are to participate in this mission.